All right. Welcome, everyone. For those of you joining us on Facebook, welcome. And for Angela joining us in the Zoom, welcome. It's nice to see your lovely face. We are going to have to definitely catch up soon. So today we're going to continue with our metabolic pillars, or our pillars of metabolic health, with this session on sleep and stress. So we've talked about these things before. We know a lot, but Diana's going to teach us a lot more. And I'm just so grateful, Diana. Thank you for joining us and sharing your gifts with us. And I won't do her a service if I try to just introduce her in the way that she needs to be. So I'm going to let Diana share all of these things. But when you guys, when we finish up, I have some announcements to make. So make sure that you stick around. And for those of you who are new to our space, I'm Romelia with Casa. And for those of you who will watch later on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you, everybody, for the support that we have received this past month with our MetaPower journey. We appreciate you. We appreciate your feedback, your questions, your interests, your laughs, and just all of the above. But anyway, for today, we're going to get started with our sleep and stress wellness workshop. Again, this is continuing our journey with our metabolic health. And if you guys have questions, type them underneath the video. I'm going to be watching this time on Facebook since I don't have to be control of the channel here. And I'm going to let Diana just take it over. All right. Thank you, Diana. I appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Hi, I'm Diana Webb, and I've been working with essential oils and with Romelia for a long time now, since 2017. Can you believe that? That is wild. Yeah. So we really have gotten to know and use our oils and really just implement them to where they're just, that's essentially what the answer is. That's essentially right there, what's on hand. That's the way that we live our lives, just totally with our doTERRA products and our oils integrated. But that doesn't mean that we don't end up, researching more, learning more, and having more contribution to our wellness by really just studying more what we can do with them. And so we just keep on that journey, and that makes a huge difference in our wellness. So we're going to talk about sleep and stress wellness. I know that this is such an important part of our health that we want to discuss it, right? So I have some resources here that I'm going to read to you little bits from, and also just kind of bring you this discussion. And then we will go through, talk about me, but we're going to also kind of analyze you. So while you're there at home looking at the screen that is asking you questions, because that's going to come up in a few minutes, please make sure you kind of write those questions down or take a screenshot and help evaluate yourself, because how can you find the targeted support that you need if you don't know what's going on with you? And really, it's surprising how complex we are as human beings in terms of it's never just one little thing that's happening. It's always multiple things that are going on, and that we are aware of, but maybe didn't understand that those were impacting this area of our life. So it's really important to just analyze and assess yourself. And then, each of the things, the products and the oils are going to be profiled so that you can, when you have that information from yourself, you can look at them and go, okay, how does this apply to me? This is going to apply to me in this way, and that's how this will support me. So, that's exactly what we're looking for in this class, to really help you to implement, right? To have that new routine, to save yourself instead of waiting for something, a magic pill or something else to come, or for more problems to start arising because you're not addressing, what you need to address. So, so here we go. We're just going to talk a little bit about why is it so important that we manage sleep and stress. Okay. So first of all, sleep. And I'm going to give you a little bit more information about it from The Essential Life, which is this wonderful tome of information and research that it's constantly being updated. This isn't even the newest one. This is like the 7th edition, but there's a new edition of this, but it's really comprehensive in terms of like research and just information to support you. So, when we're talking about sleep, what is that? That is the period when we get our rest. We stop doing things voluntarily, right? Like walking around or, eating or doing all this stuff. If we're optimally sleeping, we stay still, we're there in bed, and we are allowing our brain activity to be free and do what it needs to do to both support us and repair our body, right? Because we need to restore ourselves every night. We're expending a lot of energy. We're doing all these functions with our hormones and everything. And so we really need to take time to then sort and organize and put all the stuff back in place and get everything prepared to do it all over again the next day, right? So yeah, that period of sleep is just so important to us as human beings. And so there is a group called the National Sleep Foundation. I did not know that. And sleep is not just you lay down, you sleep, and you get up. It's got all its little different stages, and each of those functions during those stages are super important, right? So if you're missing some of them, or if you've been like tracking your sleep on your Fitbit or tracking on your iPhone watch or any of that kind of stuff, you will get reports, right? Daily, if you look at them, that tell you how your sleep quality and all that kind of stuff is, right? And so that they're looking at the states that you are in. So you have like REM state, which is rapid eye movement, and non-REM state. So you are laying there, and your brain is then doing lots of work to clean out lots of toxins that have built up in the system during the day, especially in your brain. And people usually need to get a certain amount of sleep every night, right? So what is healthy sleep, right? So we're going to look for the answer in this book, which is a really good book. It's The Essential Oil Menopause Solution, and it was written by Dr. Maritza Snyder. And even though it's for women, because menopause, it's still very applicable to all of us, right? So what is restful sleep? Restful sleep is for adults ages 26 to 64. We need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. And they say older people need like maybe 1 hour less than that. So if you're over that age. How to describe that quality of sleep is that you are sleeping for at least 85% of the time that you are in bed, and falling asleep in 30 minutes or less, waking up no more than once per night, and being awake for 20 minutes or less, like if you had to get up and go to the bathroom after initially falling asleep. So, sometimes because your body will wake you up and be like, hey, you gotta go to the bathroom. So yeah, that's really a baseline that a lot of us struggle to meet. And there's a lot of reasons why. So, but it's super important, and it makes the most comprehensive difference in your health, right? Because sleep affects your blood sugar, sleep affects your brain function, sleep affects your digestion, sleep affects your reaction time and your ability to respond to what's going on around you and focus on and think and use your brain. And it's just something that we can, like, it can help you to, if you get more sleep, you can lose weight because you're not, your whole body changes. Our hormones that are for hunger, leptin and fullness, and ghrelin, which is hunger, and leptin, which is fullness, those are affected by sleep. So if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be more prone to be eating junk and like being all distracted by food. So that's another thing that happens. And then of course, all of us, then we use other substances to keep ourselves going, right? So coffee and like, okay, now I have to settle down with a glass of wine. And, so we're affecting all of that in terms of sleep and working around sleep. And then stress is also a factor in sleep. So stress is not just something that happens during the day and that happens while you're awake. Stress is something that affects you, very holistically as well. And like, if you are undergoing a lot of stress, you end up really being unable to kind of get back into balance. You're out of balance, you're out of whack. So as it says, it comes in several forms: emotional stress, stress related to trauma, something that happens to you that's upsetting, and physical stress. So, our stress response is there to protect us, the fight or flight, right? But many of us have transitioned into living with daily stress in survival mode. So, physical stress happens when you don't get enough sleep because your body's trying to restore its reserves, right? And poor nutrition, which deprives you of having energy, and environmental toxins can also cause physical stress because they're putting a strain on your organs, tissues, and cells. So, chronic illness and illness also causes us stress, right? So your system works with some hormonal things such as cortisol and insulin. So those things, and you should add this in later, Romelia, talk about how the MetaPower system can help with all of this as well. But I did not add that to this presentation. So so when you're in that survival mode, your non-essential systems of digestion and reproduction slow way down when you're under stress. And so, that fight or flight mode is what we're talking about. But what has happened is that in our modern society, we're not dealing with like a tiger jumping out of the woods to eat us or something, we're talking about people getting a text that's upsetting them or that's freaking them out because it's urgent and work is telling you to do this or that or be there or whatever, traffic is upsetting you. You're just like, you're working in a way that is just very distracting and very hard to keep focused because you're in like a cubicle situation or like a really loud, workplace. And so all of that stress, we're sitting there working through it and we're sitting there looking like we're fine on the outside, but on the inside, our system is just going nuts. So we're having all these really spikes in our, cortisol and in our insulin, which then makes our system not have receptors for that because our system's like overwhelmed for those things. And it's just like, nah, never mind. Like, you're nuts. I'm quitting on you. So you're just like, oh, if I don't have all of my systems like responding to the things that they're supposed to respond to, you're not going to function too good. So that's why we need to address this. So we're going to talk about stress, right? So this is your time to do your self-assessment. and to look into where you are in this. And some people say that they are also addicted to stress. So just be honest with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. You're doing the best that you can, right? You have been trained in life to be this way. Maybe get untrained, untrain yourself, unlearn those things and get into a different way so that your health can improve and your family can have you, much more present and also for much longer, right? Functioning, doing what you love, being happy, right? So if you often say, I gotta go, I'm running late, I'm so busy, that's an indicator of stress level. Is your calendar overscheduled? Do you get upset when things change unexpectedly, like really thrown off your game suddenly when something happens? Do you feel irritated when obligations stack up and you're unable to handle them? Do you feel overwhelmed by the lack of support that you have? Like, do you just you're sitting there looking at all the things that need to get done, all the things that are happening, and you're have nowhere to turn in terms of support? You just feel like, okay, well, this is all me. I got to do everything. Do you wake up feeling like there isn't enough time in the day to get everything done? From the get-go, you're up and you're just like, I don't have enough daylight, right? So do you go to bed worrying about your unfinished to-do list? Or are you unable to turn off racing thoughts and actually fall asleep? Do you need caffeine to function during the day? Well, I mean, I know I do. Do you feel absolutely exhausted suddenly during the day? Or suddenly wired, like your day ends and you're all set to go to bed. I'm going to get some rest. I'm finally going to sleep. And then your eyes are just open, popped open, and you're just wired and you can't sleep because everything's just still racing around inside of you. You haven't been able to settle down. So these are really important things to think about because, that just shows that our balance is really off and we are in a state of stress and we're, our cortisol and our insulin in blood sugar is all over the place. And we're just unable to get it settled down, and our circadian rhythms are affected by those hormones of the day that we use, right? So the cortisol, the blood sugar, the hunger hormones, all of those things affect us, and if they are not being allowed to get through the day with some sleep, with some calm, then they end up throwing everything off. And then by the time you get to bed, that circadian rhythm is confused. It's acting like it's morning instead of night. So that's what that tired and wired thing is. So now we're going to look at this. So as I said, take a picture or just kind of answer the questions and be honest with yourself. There's so many things to do with sleep, so many common things. So that happen to everybody and that we need to be aware of, right? So when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? Do you feel like you rested? Do you feel restored and ready to get up? Or do you feel as if you've been tossing and turning all night? And do you feel groggy or sluggish? Oh man, I could sleep another hour. I just can't, I just can't seem to pull myself into activity. I just feel like I'm still, sleeping, can't shake it off. So when you go to sleep, do you fall asleep right away or do you struggle for a while? So, either way, those are an extreme, right? You have a certain time period when normally the brain takes about 15 minutes to half an hour to fall asleep. But if you can't do it in that amount of time, and you're just sitting there struggling to get into that mode, then that really takes away, the clock is ticking, you're losing like an hour or two when you're struggling like that. So, or do you wake up in the night and have trouble getting back to sleep? So you wake up in the night, you go to the bathroom, you lay back down, and then you just you're like, wow, well, it's 3 a.m. and I'm now like still awake and I can't get back to sleep. So think about that. Do you snore, or do you have sleep apnea? So sleep apnea means you stop breathing. And so that wakes you up because your body's like, hello, wake up and start breathing again. So you kind of come to you get used to it if you have sleep apnea, but you're still aware that you don't feel rested in the morning once you're dealing with that. So, and then of course, if you have a partner who's sleeping with you, they're going to know that you're having the snoring and the sleep apnea, and they might complain to you that, gosh, you kept me up because you were snoring. So that's important to know, because, you can remedy that. You can help yourself. Or do you have allergies that are interrupting your sleep cycle? Are you feeling like your nose is stuffed up? Your nose is running? Those type of things that are just like making you wake up to take care of that. Or, you feel like you can't lay down without starting to sneeze or cough or something like that. So that's important to note as well, and disrupts your sleep. Some people experience insomnia or inability to sleep because they have mental chatter or overthinking. So their brain seems to be making lists, explaining everything that went wrong during the day and how they did it wrong all day long. And people, they're trying to relax and they can't turn it off. So they feel like, oh, I cannot turn this off and go to sleep. Or do you have restless legs or body? That is very common, and that it is worse at that time when you're actually trying to fall asleep. So, or do you have pain and discomfort that when you do start to fall asleep, your neck suddenly starts hurting, or your legs starts hurting, or your back starts hurting, and so that wakes you up? And so all of these things you can support yourself with in a lot of different ways. And as we know, the kind of prescription things that are made for sleep cause lots of other really weird side effects, really weird. And also don't let you get the full sleep cycles. So they're problematic is what we're trying to say. If you get a prescription for it or you get an over-the-counter thing, they're not really effective in helping you get the type of sleep that actually is good for you. So, they're not something you really want to turn to as, okay, that's a solution. It's not usually a solution. It is usually something that can get you through a certain time, but really you don't want to get addicted to that. So this is my story. I've never been a great sleeper. I was always kind of a restless little kid that was nervous about going to sleep or filled with energy or something when I should have been tired, right? Probably because my dad used to let me stay up late watching TV with him. So not good, but and scary stuff that would scare me as a kid. So I would be like, oh my God. So yeah, so I've never been a great sleeper. And when I found out, when I got my oils, that I could use a diffuser next to my bedside, woohoo, I was thrilled. I was just like, okay, this is amazing. So I started with Serenity, and then I moved into adding Breathe to it because stuffiness and random little dry cough and all that kind of stuff. So I added the Breathe oil to that, and super helped me a ton. But I also had the problem that I wasn't quite falling asleep in the first place. I was not ready to fall asleep. I kept rousing, when I should have been kind of dropping into sleep. And so I needed more support. And what I did was to start taking lavender and copaiba under the tongue, just a drop or two, before laying down. And that really started to make a huge difference. And so, but, you know, there's also lots of other things that I just keep there next to the bedside, just in case I need the support. And so, when I feel extra restless, I'll roll on Calmer, which is a kid's oil. That's from our kids line, but it has a great blend in it that is really supportive and really helpful to calm down, or vetiver. And now we have a roller of vetiver. So that's amazing. If you got that in your BOGO, you got lavender and vetiver. So I put it behind my ears, kind of like over the ear, like I'm tracing the ear. And I really find that that's like a really good place. Some people also apply it to this little ridge here at the top of the ear. Just put a little essential oil there, because it really helps to calm. It's kind of like there's like a little tiny, the top of your ear, then the inside of the ear has like a little place where there's like kind of a cartilage, and there's like a little dip in there. So that's a good place to put it as well. So the challenge now that I'm the age that I am, is to stay asleep despite or after a hot flash. So I'm able to, when I remember, to apply some peppermint down my spine before I lay down and go to bed. And I also make sure to take my phytoestrogen and bone nutrient before bed, because bone nutrient has magnesium, which really helps us to sleep. And the phytoestrogen helps to balance my hormones. So calming all that down really helps me to be able to get better rest. So pain also is not my friend. And I have been woken up by pain and aching in my feet or in my legs. And so that deep blue stick has been amazing to just put that on before I lay down. And I usually am wearing like pants and socks to sleep in, you know, like sleeping pants, pajamas. And so, yeah, that works great. My point in telling you my story is that it can be a process. It can be a process to find the things that you really should be addressing in order to get past those issues and be able to get better sleep. But when you do that, and when you invest the time and when you invest the effort in preparing and having good sleep hygiene, etc., you're going to see that it's so worth it. And I am really sleeping better than ever now. Like I feel like in my 20s, I just hardly slept compared to now. I'm sleeping much better. And the MetaPower is a part of that too. So, so definitely when you hear that there's information coming more about MetaPower, tune in and listen, because it can really help you. So, because we're not talking about that today. So also, I wanted to share with you that we have an ebook in doTERRA that you can look up when you're on there. You can just write sleep into the search and you will find, and then say other, there's like blog and like products, and there's other. Click on other. Other will give you this ebook that is essential oils and sleep, and talks to you about what is the deal with sleep, what's going on when you're sleeping, and also has a lot of good suggestions for sleep hygiene and ideas for how to set up your space. So I'm going to share with you a little more from this as well. So here's for our new people, or people who are not aware of what's going on, right? So what are essential oils? They're naturally occurring plant extracts, steam distilled from plant material, and they have therapeutic properties that can support your wellness and soothe your concerns. And so the plant uses them to protect itself, and they're natural, safe, affordable, and easy to use. So how do you use the essential oils? You can use them aromatically to inhale it from the bottle, or adding it to a diffuser, which you add water first and then you add the oils, or you can use them topically. and you can apply them to your body in areas where you need them because you feel some things going on in that particular area, or like to the bottoms of the feet, or, you know, on the pulse points. So you can also use them internally. You can add them under the tongue, or to food, or to water, or to an empty veggie cap. So there's lots of ways to get those oils working for you. So what makes doTERRA different? 100% transparency. You can look up your oils and find out exactly what's going on with them in terms of sourcetoyou.com. That's going to tell you just everything about the oil, its entire life and its entire chemical makeup and everything. So you really want to do that, because we spend a lot of time testing stuff in doTERRA, and you can find out tons of information there. Yes, it's very sciencey, but we have a lot of people who enjoy the sciencey stuff, right? So that third-party testing is how we guarantee the pure therapeutic grade quality essential oils, and the co-impact sourcing is how we get the best plants from the best places in the world, and the Healing Hands Foundation is how we contribute and give back to communities and sourcing partners around the world. And so now we're going to learn about calming doTERRA products. And you can see right here one of our BOGO people from last week, which was the Serenity Soft Gels. So Serenity and Serenity Soft Gels. This comes in a little kit. So you can get the two of those at a discounted rate when you're a member. So, and it's so easy now to be a member. So balance is something that everybody who tries it finds amazing and sings its praises. So it really is helpful for stress and anxiety, and mood swings, as well as tranquility, meditation, grounding. You know, it's good for jet lag, it's good for travel anxiety, and it has all the different ways where you can, you know, apply it and use it. This is a topical and aromatic use only oil. You don't put this in a capsule, and it works terrific. So balance is beautiful. Then we have cedarwood. This was in the BOGO package from last week as well. And it really helps with racing mind and low GABA. So that means stress and or sleep as well. So it helps with calming and anxiety. It also is soothing to the neurological system. Plus, it's really nice on skin as well. So it's really got a lot going for it, and it smells amazing. I think anybody who smells it really just is amazed at the sweetness and the prettiness of this. Like, it's a wood, but it just smells so good. So then we have Copaiba, and Copaiba, it comes in two different forms. You can get it as a dietary supplement, a soft gel, and you can get it as an oil. So, you know, it helps with so many different things, anxiety and sleep. It helps with your mood. It's good paired with a citrus oil to kind of uplift you. But really it's calming. It helps you relax your entire system. So if you have nervous tension, if you would like to use it as I do for before bed, you could take a soft gel, or you can use the oil. And or if you're during the day, you feel like you really need to calm that overall mood, Copaiba is there. And plus, it's great for your hair and your skin. So yeah, another powerhouse there that we absolutely love. So next is Serenity, and Serenity is a blend. It has lavender in it, and as well as Roman chamomile, and I believe it also has, I can't remember, cedarwood. I can't remember what else is in there, but it's got multiple. It has vetiver as well. So it has multiple oils in there, and it's great in the diffuser. This is also a topical aromatic only use, but people really love it for insomnia and sleep, stress and anxiety, like during the day, calming your fear and nervousness, also soothing anger, agitation and irritability, and sometimes even just like muscle tension, or it can stop a headache in its tracks depending on what the headache origin is. So it's very helpful and very useful. And then the Serenity soft gels. So these are great to take as your nighttime routine. They are not addictive. They are all natural. This is what they have in them. They have L-theanine, which is great for helping your brain to relax, and it doesn't give you grogginess or drowsiness. It is just really a very balanced effect, right? So it lasts through the sleep cycle and really just helps to support you during that, as well as lavender and German chamomile, which is, mildly sedative to soothe your tension. And you can take it half an hour, take two. Normal adults take about two, half an hour before going to bed, and they find that it really does help them to get settled down and get some sleep. So here's vetiver. Vetiver is an amazing oil that it just really helps with coming at it from a different issue, right? But it also is great for both stress and sleep. And what it does is it quiets the mind. So that's wonderful. So if you have, PTSD, if you have these emotional things where you're, things are coming, like doing this circular thinking, coming back to you, over and over again, with PTSD, with depression, with anxiety, you can really benefit from vetiver. They're suggesting here to layer it with some Melissa, which is also great for your mind and for calming, and also for intense sadness. And so this vetiver is great for insomnia and irritability. Just being able to settle you down. It grounds you and settles you, and just stops all that chatter that's happening, the mental chatter and the recurring thoughts. Just really calms all of that down. And so it's great for postpartum depression too. I didn't know that. And learning issues and poor retention. So it really can help you to focus as well. So if you got a lot coming at you and you really need to focus in, vetiver can really support you with that as well. So this is topical, internal, and aromatic use oil. It's great. So next, we have wild orange. Yes, you're thinking, if citrus is so uplifting, why would people suggest it for calming you down? It's amazing. This has a great adaptive property of being able to be used to calm you down, as well as to make you smile, make you feel better, cheer you up. So with insomnia and stress, you can use wild orange. With any kind of fear, depression, anxiety, irritability, it also helps. If you have lack of energy, lack of productivity, you can use it too, or just like concentration. It's suggesting you use it with some peppermint, and that is our doTERRA special combination that we always use to get everybody in the mood to listen to a class or anything, and just kind of wake you up and have you ready and alert. So peppermint and wild orange, you just drop a couple drops in your hands, cup them over your nose, and inhale. And it really is just like, boom, your brain comes back. So then you can use every single one of these to create a daily protocol. And if you don't create a daily protocol, when you have your oils and you just leave them sitting on the shelf, you're really wasting a wonderful resource. So it's really good to find ways to fit them into your life. And that is what a protocol does, right? So you diffuse the balance, you take it with you on the go, apply it to the back of your neck, get up in the morning and apply it to the bottoms of the feet to give you, that grounded start to your day. With cedar wood, you can use that with balance or serenity. You can use it in your diffuser. You can take a bath with that. You can apply it to the bed linens. Like I put a drop on my pillow. That's what I used to do with cedar wood often. And then copaiba, you can take it internally, or you can combine it with different things and use the copaiba as well as the serenity soft gels. They work great together. That's what I hear. So they really both cover what's needed to cover to get you to sleep and to get your body calmed down and to get your mind calmed down and to get you sleeping. So, the serenity oil and the serenity soft gels are great used together, and just that preparation, right? The sleep hygiene of preparing and caring for yourself, giving yourself the time to settle down for sleep, shut down those, blue light emitting devices, and just, be able to take some time to do a bedtime routine. Yes, bedtime routines have always been for children and for babies, but it really does help all of us if we go ahead and invest in doing a bedtime routine for ourselves as well. Then we also have the wonderful vetiver, which you can diffuse or apply to the bottom of the big toe. Because it's a reflexology point for your brain. And you can also apply that to pulse points. And it really does help you just to get into a routine with your oils, find out what it does, right? Put it on, feel the effect, and see how it works with your system, and go like, okay, this is definitely going to have to go with me during the day, or this is definitely going to stay next to the bedside because it really makes me feel like sleeping and tired. And so just be aware of that, learn as you go, apply them, use them, and then take note of where they are functioning for you best, and continue, right? And then refill as you go along when you run out. So then we have our wild orange, which is great to soothe stress and anxious feelings. It's also great at bedtime. I've heard it's lovely with the cedar wood, the wild orange and the cedar wood together, because they're both really nice and sweet, and just really like have a great combination together. But wild orange is great with like anything, really. I'm sure we all can attest to that if we've ever used it. So we have more solutions that are for stress and calming, not just sleep and calming. So the important thing is, again, to find what applies to you in the situation. These words of overstimulated, overwhelmed for the steady roller, that's the steady grounding blend, those type of things, all the descriptive words that I used for the emotions, if those are you, then this oil is going to work for you. So, or at least just give it a try. If it doesn't work for you, we'll figure out something else, because as your wellness advocate, here we are to help you and to support you. And if things are confusing, we're here to just, be there for you and figure it out with you, alongside you, and make sure you get what you need to support you. So the steady and the calmer, these are both the kids line emotional and body oils. So they support you both with your emotions and your body. So this is like the steady grounding blend is great. You can use it during the day or, in the evening as well. It's for overstimulated, overwhelmed, restless, frustrated. Why did I say travel rollers? Well, because you can stick them in your backpack. Your kids can take them in their backpack. You can put it in your purse. You can, have it at your desk. This is something that you can have with you during the day. And it just is an easy way to support yourself, or take it on a trip. perfect to take on a trip. The Steady Grounding Blend is a children's oil, and the vetiver also comes in a roller, touch roller, in case you're intimidated or not wanting to use the bottle of oil. This is a really convenient and easy way to use the vetiver as well as the lavender. And then we have Calmer Restful Blend, which I mentioned earlier. I love it. It's good for when you're unsettled or restless or have sleep issues or are stressed and anxious. So as you can see, it's just easy just to roll it on and just treat yourself to having these with you so that you can be able to just have them on hand when you need them and use them, you know, on the go or on a trip or whatever you need them for. So that's why they're there. So, right, we're not all feeling some of us you. All right. So the adaptive is really, you can use the capsules internally, and the roller and the oil can be used aromatically as well as topically. So the thing that's cool about the capsules is that you can take them daily, like as a regular supplement, and take them once a day or twice a day if needed, to create a balanced mood. But you can also take them when you are in an acute situation, something that's very upsetting for you, or that makes you feel very agitated or scared or fearful or panicky. And that helps. It helps in both ways. So the oil, you can diffuse it, you can inhale it. It applies to loss of composure, poor coping capacity, anxiety, moodiness, depression, tired, run down. So you can apply it to the adrenal area for that support when you're feeling like that tired, run down, lack of motivation, mental fatigue, lack of focus, inability to stay on task, restless. And this is really a game changer for a lot of people because we hadn't had that to turn to. And this is like really something that can help to balance out that mood. And so many people are so overwhelmed in that, as I said, living in that fight or flight, that it's kind of gotten out of their control. And now they're experiencing all these things that are really disrupting their life. So when you have adaptive, you can get back to center, you can get back to where you need to be and handle what's going on around you. And so I highly recommend the entire system, and then to refill as you run out of the capsules and stuff. So and then of course lavender. So lavender is well known by lots of people, and it's wonderful for skin and lots of things like that, but for helping you in so many ways. It's the Swiss Army knife of oils, but it also is great for sleep issues, insomnia, restlessness, jet lag, uptight, anxious, stressed, teeth grinding. So you can apply it to the jawline and to help calm that down, and emotional balance. So you can go from, this is the oil of calm and communication. So it helps you to go from unheard to being able to express your truth and speak your truth. It's it's obviously calming, regenerating, and healing for allergies, skin irritation, injury, burns, healing, all that stuff of scars, etc. So it's really just a wonderful oil. So how do you get started to get these oils? Well, it's easy. You choose your starter kit, or you can pick out this Calm and Harmony kit, which is what I've been telling you all the products of. And if you are confused, you can reach out to Romelia or I, depending on who's your wellness advocate and who's your supporter here to help you and told you about oils, and get going. But we're going to talk about all that later. So why do you want to be in doTERRA? Because once you're a wholesale customer, you're getting a discount of 25%. Also, you get access to our rewards program, which gives you free shipping and free rewards points to spend on products. So once you get started, you end up, any order over 100 is free shipping. And any order that's over $50 starts you on 10% product points back, and over a year goes up to 15, then 20, then 30. So you're going to really love to be getting 30% of your spending back in product. You're really going to love that. So, so we also have wonderful promos, oils that are limited edition, things that are for sale but are not able for a retail customer to purchase. It's something that our doTERRA people have access to first, and is really fun and neat. So it's really, doTERRA really takes care of us wonderfully. And as a community, you are right now experiencing the education, the class that we have here, and also team giveaways too. You have access to all of that if you join our wellness community. So yes, so you want to do it. It's worth it. So the Calm and Harmony kit has all of the items that I went over, as well as, I don't know why I'm seeing Peace Touch. It has Peace Touch. Ooh, Peace Touch is great. Peace Touch has vetiver in it as well, and is a really good mood calming, on the go type of thing that really helps in just like so many occasions. And it also has petitgrain, which is the man's lavender is what we call it, because it's not as flowery smelling. It's a citrus, but it really has a very unique scent. And a lot of people prefer petitgrain if they are not huge fans of lavender. And then of course it has the serenity and the balance, the wild orange, all the things that you see here. And so that's a great look at the price on that. That price hasn't changed for a while. And so you get a whole lot of product for not much money. And you can just add that onto your LRP, which is your loyalty rewards cart, and for existing members. So that is totally worthwhile. That'll last you. You'll be able to do a lot of bedtimes with that. And we have other starter kits if you're new. So the Simple Solutions contains the Serenity there, and also the Deep Blue. So if you are a new customer, or you are ongoing customer continuing, you can still get these kits because they save you money. They're bundled together, and the Deep Blue is going to help you with that physical discomfort, right? And help you to feel better. Then we also have a Healthy Start Kit, which gives you all these 5 ml oils that you can diffuse. So, and it has all the oils that you might need for just any kind of issue that you're going through. And it's like a great little starter sampler kit because it gives you Breathe, Deep Blue, Digestion, On Guard, frankincense, lavender, lemon, oregano, peppermint, and tea tree. So Breathe is wonderful for respiratory support. Deep Blue is great for any kind of discomfort support. Digestion, of course, for your digestive system, and On Guard for your immunity. as well as frankincense, which is wonderful for the brain and also for relaxing and getting into bed too. It helps. My husband uses it applies it to the temple each night, and that has helped him to get to sleep because he's been having some sleep disturbance. And also lavender, lemon, oregano, which is our powerhouse for kicking those germs to the curb, and peppermint, which is just so refreshing and really good for breathing, and tea tree, which, you know, cleans everything. You got to have some tea tree. Good. And then of course we have our healthy habits, and that includes lavender, frankincense, balance, lemon, and On Guard, with the deep blue rub, as well as the internal support that can really help you with getting on track with your health and wellness goals, which we all need to do. Plus, it, you know, gives you extra digestive enzyme, as well as PB assist probiotic, which is what we need to balance our system and really be able to handle what's going on from the inside out, like start really healing that and start really feeling like we can function. This helps you with sleep. This helps you with focus. This helps you with stress. So, yeah, this is a great kit too. So of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to the wellness advocate that has helped you get interested in essential oils, right? And, you know, what we do right there is stated. You can send us your health concerns. You can send us the things that you're working on right now. So if you're working on specific things, you can find out like more about them, because we'll research it for you and we'll come back to you with solutions that can really help you. So yeah. And then if you're already a member, just log in, get those points, do the thing, get that Calm and Harmony kit or whatever you want, the adaptive kit, anything, and get started with it, because you really want to invest in your wellness and feeling like you can handle life. And this helps to support you in a natural way. It's not going to give you these side effects. It's not going to give you addictive things. It's going to actually support you. And if it's not feeling effective for you, you can return it. So, I mean, you got nothing to lose here. So, yeah, so the resources that I have here are the books that I showed you as well. I forgot to add the ebook, but oh no, I did add it there. You can, if you click on that huge long media, doTERRA.com, flyers, all that stuff, that is the ebook, and you can download it as a PDF. And there's a little sleep hygiene tips. It says for kids and teenagers, but it really kind of applies to everybody. And also there's a little sleep quiz if you want to check out, like it talks about what are your priorities for like, is sleep a good priority for you in your life, or do you need to put more time into it? Which, let's all admit, we do. So we're all kind of like, okay, I got to do better with this. So yes, definitely. So I'm going to stop the share and then answer questions, talk to you about things, then to see what you have to say. So, any questions?
Okay, so I've been following along on Facebook. I didn't see any questions per se, but I did see some comments. I did share in our group the links to the books that you had mentioned, and also the ebook. I always forget that doTERRA has these amazing ebooks already, and they have a few. But that sleep one is really good. I just want to point out that I love what you mentioned before when you were talking about sleep and finding the source of sleep, a disruptive sleep, because I think that's very crucial, because that's going to lead you in the direction of what oil may work best for you and what supplement. I'm speaking on MetaPower, and that's all I've been doing, right, for this past month, but I have found that I have terrible sleep. I've always struggled with sleep. Oils help me get to sleep, but I could never cut out there's still a lot of chatter. I'm still working through things in my head, and I would sleep, but it was never like really deep sleep. I love Serenity because it does help me fall asleep. I love Copaiba because it also helps me fall asleep. But something that I noticed with the Meta Power is that I am going into deep sleep and I'm falling asleep faster. And that just never happened for me before. My oils and supplements always supported me to get to that place. And I would, okay, now I'm going to fall asleep. But it was this really lengthy process of actively working to shut it down. What oils do I need for that? And but it's just been so different these past couple of weeks with Meta Power. I don't go through that lengthy process. I'm just like, all right, it's time for bed, let's go. And that's so unusual for me. And I am just loving that piece of it. I really am. I think that's a big game changer for emotions and stress. But yeah, the LRP kits, I always forget about those too. And I didn't even realize peace was in there. That is an awesome roller.
I know, right? I saw, ooh, peace. I love it.
It's my second favorite of the emotional oils. Peace. I love cheer. It's always been my number one. I love the way it smells and the way it makes me feel. But peace, man, is something else. It's a powerhouse for that, just that fight or flight. Let me see if there's any questions. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this was so wonderful. Thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing with us. And I know it gives us a lot to think on. And the invitation is there for you guys that are watching, that if you need some more direction, some more specific help on your personal needs, please reach out to your wellness advocate. Please reach out to us so that we can help you navigate. There's so much, even just in this presentation, there were so many different options, and it can become overwhelming as where am I going to start? So that's what we're here for. We help you pinpoint a starting place and help you navigate through that whole wealth of information that's there. And we're users too, just like you. We have our trial and errors, and we find things that work and we stick with them. And that's what we share. But thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
right.
I'm happy to do it. And I just wanted to say that, we can make a lot of difference with our sleep hygiene as well. But in terms of like people turning off screens and having screen time be earlier in the evening, not drinking caffeine, a lot of people, don't like to hear it, but alcohol also causes us to disrupt our sleep if it's had, before bedtime. So like just improving all of those things is really easy to do. And what I really like about the ebook, the Essential Oils and Sleep ebook, is that it tells you a bunch of great ways to integrate the sleep hygiene. So it's like suggests how to take a bath. It helps to tell you to like, okay, prepare your pillows and your bedding. It gives you like instructions to make a heating pad or a neck wrap, to work with your feet, to support your feet, with oils, and okay, take a warm shower or make yourself a custom veggie cap, or make sure you massage and release tension, or a cup of tea. Just lots of different ideas, and for all the different things that you could do.
Right. All right. Well, thank you. And just to plug for Diana, Diana is a newly certified essential emotions coach. So if you're interested in learning what that's about and how that can benefit you, because as you saw throughout this presentation, stress issues are emotional issues. Sleep issues are emotional issues. So sometimes that you know, what our emotions, whatever we may be feeling, can be affecting those things. So if you think that is your direction, if you think that's your source of your disruptive sleep or this constant feeling of stress, if you feel like there is some emotional, there's some emotional help that you need, Diana's your person. She is excellent in this area. She's always been my go-to person for emotional support and emotional help with oils. She's
Right.
wonderful in that way. She has this gift. So please, I will post her contact information in our group. I won't share it publicly unless I have your permission to do so, but I will definitely put it in our group so that you can reach out to her if this is something that you would like to learn more about, and see if it benefits you. Because it's multifaceted, as we've learned, and if we can tackle one piece at a time and really come up with a process, a protocol, a system that works for us, we can be a lot happier in the morning when we wake up, right? I mean,
Right.
seriously, feel rested changes your whole outlook on the day. So make sure if you have those types of questions or just wanting more information, I'm going to put it below this video in our group so that you can reach out to her. Thank you so much. So grateful for you. Angela, thank you for joining us there in the background. Thank you for you guys in our group that showed up. Appreciate you. And we'll have some more announcements following April 1st. New stuff coming out. So I'm going to do my best to get up early and do it for you, because this weekend I'm going to be at the Coffee and Chocolate Fest. So if you guys are out and about, come see me. Come see me. We'll have a nice display. I'm there with a friend who has some other, you know, modalities of care for you. So if you're out and about, come see us. And thank you again. Angela, you are so welcome. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.